He ventured into the nation of Chaz earlier today, and tonight he's reporting from outside the border of Chaz, the DMZ that separates Seattle from this emerging nation. Jason, thanks so much for coming on. What's it like in Chaz?
Well, right now it's too violent for us to go in. It's a little bit too scary for us to go in because when you go in and you have a different opinion than what they would like to be seen on video, they end up harassing you and they assault you. I had a friend who's a reporter who got assaulted just 2 nights ago. When you go into this area,
I'm sorry. I have to stop you there. I've got to check your privilege for a second. Aren't developing nations always seized by turmoil? Isn't it a little racist to say that Chaz is violent?
Yes, let me say that they are peacefully challenged right now, and they don't want us to talk about that. In fact, when you hear from Mayor Jenny Durkan, I feel like I've never been more embarrassed for the city before. Mayor Jenny Durkan earlier today essentially said that what we see is happening isn't really happening. That despite the fact that they had to board up all of the windows and the doors to the East Precinct before removing all of their expensive equipment and all of their evidence and everything that they had there, then put a fence around it. They said they weren't actually abandoning the building. Meanwhile, there's not a cop in sight. The cops are told not to come here. And that, of course, is due to the violence that we're told isn't actual violence. It's peaceful protesters. Jenny Durkan goes after President Trump today because he paid attention to this in a tweet last night and earlier today. And now it's officially about Donald Trump lying about domestic terrorists in this crowd. I can tell you because not only do I live here, but I cover Antifa and I cover anarchists. There is a group in this area in Chaz that are anarchists, that are Antifa, and there are in fact some community organizers who have decided to completely take over, and we have ceded this land to these individuals. And the implications of that cannot be understated. If folks think right now that maybe they live in Los Angeles and New York, oh, it's not going to happen here. Yeah, it's going to happen there. We're allowing it to happen here. We're not getting involved at all. We're pretending it doesn't exist.
I have to ask you, Jason, since you're one of the very few I know who's ventured inside this new nation, is it a tidy, cheerful place? Have they ironed out all the kinks in the sanitation, et cetera? What's it look like?
Well, yeah, so it's not necessarily tidy. However, the city of Seattle has decided to send in crews to do some cleanups and add some toilets for them. So we're actually enabling this kind of behavior.
So they're already getting foreign aid.
Obviously, there is a lot of trash. Of course. I mean, this is a developing nation, so we do need to give some financial aid to the beginning of this. We want to nurture this, right? We want to grow this. And maybe next week, instead of 6 blocks, it'll be 12 blocks. Maybe after that, it can develop into all of Capitol Hill. If we're going to seed this, I mean, let's go all in. Because apparently it's not that big of a deal. Meanwhile, Mayor Jenny Durkan won't come down here, and she certainly won't come down here without armed security and SWAT teams around the block to come in just in case something goes down. Meanwhile, we still have no idea when the East Precinct is actually going to come back, but we can tell you that now when you call 911 for a crisis in progress, it takes 3 times the amount of time it normally would for them to report because they're so undermanned and down a building. It's absolutely disgraceful.
Mayor Jenny Durkan should be forced to live in Chaz as long as it's there, and I'm serious. She should be. It's her city. Jason Rantz.
She keeps her address secret because of threats.
Oh, she does.
Ironic.
But the rest of us get to live with Chaz. Okay,
Yeah.
I'm starting to figure out how this works. All right, thank you for that update, and I hope you'll join us again as this nation flourishes and grows.
Absolutely.